a mi onda, aquí le traigo un mensaje Illuminati para que se embullen en los embulladeras de los embullos.
The movie takes place in another time and another place with unbelievable visual and special effects.
The Matrix is a science fiction film, but it's also an action-adventure film. You see things that are fantastic. And you say, well, wait a second, that's impossible.
Freeze it. When they explained to me the kind of movie that they were trying to make, I got really fired up about it, because nobody's made this kind of movie before.
Synthesizing evolution, acting in the construct, giving flesh to a cartoon, soul to a machine.
The movie takes place somewhere in the distant future. It is a time when computers rule the world.
You have a world of people who believe they're real, but actually they're not. They're living inside a computer program, and there are a number of other people within that who are trying to liberate those people from their captivities.
It's about the idea of we take everything for granted.
And other times it feels like it's about hope and love and belief.
It's about robots versus kung fu.
And there's some crazy action.
Sydney's a beautiful town. I gotta tell you, I've never seen nothing quite like it.
What unemployed actor wouldn't want 5 months in Australia?
That's better.
Filming on a location in Sydney is actually a pleasure. We're in a great city that's got a lot to offer, and a very professional crew.
Well, here we are in Sydney in a beautiful new facility. This stage is literally brand new. We're the first movie in the stage. And we moved in here to build these sets. The paint was wet on the walls. I mean, it literally, do not touch the walls, they're wet.
Powder all backlit.
Is it okay if I kind of come forward?
It's always a difficult thing to ask anybody where do you get your ideas from. Nobody knows. They just sort of happen. A friend of ours asked us to come up with a concept for a comic book. We like kung fu movies.
We like Japanimation.
We like,
John Woo movies.
And books that are, science fiction that is about the sort of nature of reality.
You've been living in a dream world, Neo. This is the world as it exists today.
What's interesting about the whole idea of cyberpunk is that it's a great way to create a sense of alienation and disconnection and alternate worlds being caught in sort of these quasi-dream, quasi-conscious states.
Or you want me up like this? That's the one. That's the look.
I first met Larry and Andy when I read Assassin, and it really was an incredible script. It was a very dark, edgy piece of material, and I really was impressed with that style. And they showed me this animated Japanese cartoon, and they said, we want to do that for real. And, and that was an incredible idea to me. I mean, to actually see that animation come to life, and believe me, essentially it has.
We've had our eye on you for some time now, Mr. Anderson. In one life, you're Thomas A. Anderson, program writer for a respectable software company. The other life is lived in computers, where you go by the hacker alias Neo and are every computer crime we have a law for.
I play a man named Thomas Anderson who's looking for a man named Morpheus who's played by Lawrence Fishburne. I'm searching for the answer to a question. The question is, what is the Matrix? My character feels that the answer to this question will somehow make sense of his life.
At last.
My character is called Morpheus, and Morpheus is a person who lives in the real world, and he's the leader of this band of people looking for the one.
You felt it your entire life, that there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind.
He is this, like, fevered missionary guy. He's a zealot. We think there's something dangerous about people who believe they have the truth, and they do sort of act blindly.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
There's a couple references to Alice in Wonderland in the movie. I think that is a brilliant book. She comes into this world, and there are all this craziness, and people just give her things and say, eat this, drink this, and everything affects her and changes her, and nothing makes sense, nothing's logical. It's the way you have to do it, and we tried to do that with the beginning of the film.
The thing that I love about Trinity is that I'm portraying someone who's really, really strong and who has a real mission and a real purpose.
Can you fly that thing?
Not yet.
Operator.
Tank, I need a pilot program for a B-212 helicopter.
She's a warrior, yet I don't think that she's lost being a woman.
Son. Oh, shit. Agent Smith is the law enforcement, and he's a seemingly invincible machine who develops these wonderful human frailties.
There was an accident. Goddamn car accident. Cypher was a strong disciple of Morpheus. But now, I've had second thoughts. Did he tell you why he did it? Why you're here? Jesus. What a mind job. So you're here to save the